Hello. So today I am bringing a update to my Giga Tank RF Chieftain that I've been going for Ancestor League, and now let me tell you, from my previous video, even though my HP started going towards zero, but I didn't die, right? People said that it's still not tanky enough, so I made it even tankier. So right now you can see that my resistances is 90% all res. And with flask and everything up, I'm over 100k armor, and then I'm like Giga capped on res. But you would think that maybe I slapped on Rise of the Immortal Phoenix, whatever that shield's called, but no, I'm still using Dawnbreaker, which means that I am converting damage types to LE damage, or rather fire damage, and then I'm using a Lightning Coil, which converts 50% of my physical damage from hits to lightning damage. So just like these two, right, is 70% of my physical damage taken as some sort of elemental damage type. It doesn't matter what, because I'm 90% all LE res. And on my tree, I have a Watcher's Eye that converts another 10% to another LE damage type. So 80% of my damage, or 80% of the damage I take from physical hits is converted to an elemental damage type, which is mitigated by 90%. This is a workaround to overwhelm, because if you run like either of World's Altars and you hit like an overwhelm mod, right? Generally that modifier, if you skill it like too much, like 80% overwhelm or something, right? That would cause most builds to die instantly. But since I am converting all my physical or most of my physical damage to an elemental damage source, that overwhelm does nothing, because it doesn't overwhelm my elemental resistances. So if I take 100 damage hit, 80% of that is converted to elemental damage, which is like mitigated by the 90%, which is huge. Another thing that I didn't have in my T16 video was I now have the Forbidden Flame Juggernaut set. So if you guys don't know what Unbreakable does, is armor from your equipped body armor is doubled, it's whatever, but then 8% of your armor is applied to fire, cold, lightning damage taken from hits, which means that when I have all my flasks up during mapping, right? Well, it's supposed to be 100k because the body armor is doubled, but 100k, 8% of that is I can't do math. What is like 8,000 or something? So you can skill it pretty high, essentially, and that extra like armor, like on top of the 90% all res, right? It's a really huge mitigation. On top of that, you might be wondering how I even got back to 90% all res. Well, here's the thing. There is a new unique jewel from Ancestor League called Warrior's Tale, which makes it so 100%, or your tattoos have 100% increased effect. What this means is you can take the +1 max fire res tattoo, the one that says you can't have more than one adjacent passive skills allocated, you put it in this slot because it's the most amount of strength passives for a jewel socket. But then since you're not taking this node or this node as a connecting path, you can slap it in. And what these two nodes do is it gives you +2 max fire res. So for 2 skill points, you get +4 max fire res, which I personally think is insanely broken, because +4 max fire res for Chieftain equates to +4 max res. This is akin to taking like Prismatic Skin and Soul of Steel with, what is it, Imbalance, Guard, Impossible Escape for other builds, right? It is insanely broken, but it doesn't cost like, what, 16, 17 divines. This is like I think each tattoo is like 38 chaos, so that's 76 chaos. For yeah, you compare 76 chaos versus a jewel socket plus 17 divines, right? That huge cost difference. Another thing is, since everything is 100%, you take all the explode tattoos. So with 5 strength nodes left over, that's 20% chance to explode. Other than that, build didn't really vary that much, aside that I needed to take jewel sockets to fit in the Forbidden Flesh, the Watcher's Eye, and the tattoos. I do have this one random cluster jewel up here for +1 fire res and then 20% fire res. This is probably going to be changed in the future because there is another tattoo that lets you replace a 30% strength node with a +1 max fire res and then +1 max endurance charge, and then I'll probably try to fit in enduring cry, or not enduring cry. It's a small cluster jewel that says like when you get hit, you get an endurance charge every second or something, which would give us 4 endurance charges. Why that's important, I have no idea yet, but we will figure it out. What other changes? The weapon is still complete garbage. Don't look at it. This is literally a quote-unquote SSF scepter. The rings are still garbage. I still need to recraft them for 15% life recoup, T1 chaos res, and then T1 life. So this onset ring, I actually have a base for it already. It's just I'm crafting on it. I'm spamming pristine fossils on it till I hit T1 life res and hopefully a good chaos resistance roll, and then I'm just probably gonna craft life on it. Gonna do that probably later today or tomorrow whenever my brain cells stop dying. And then same thing with the ring. I need to essentially catalyst for the chaos resistances and then just remake it with recoup. The amulet, I am planning to move off of Replicatory Aziri's Foible, and I'm probably gonna move to either Internal Damnation, which someone suggested that it would make my build tankier, and since I figured out that tattoo tech over here, yeah, Eternal Damnation would be insanely broken. It would make me a Giga tank, like even more Giga tank. But I need damage, so I was thinking about taking a Replica Dragonfly, Dragon Fane. It's a new amulet that got randomly added to the league that no one knew about. But it has a global drop, and it can drop like every skill gem +3. Yeah, essentially there's an RF one. +3 to RF is a huge damage boost, but then looking at my POB, my damage doesn't really exist if there's no enemies. More on that later. Yeah, so the gloves I changed so that it has ignites you inflict, spread to enemies within the radius of 14. This is important because for explosion proliferation, on top of, since all my explosion damage is fire, so they all have a chance to ignite when they explode. Combine that with Herald of Ass, and this explode, right? And then when I ignite enemies, it has a 90% chance to ignite. Wait, is that correct? Or am I tripping? No, I'm pretty sure it's ignite. Fire Trap doesn't have ignite, right? Yeah, so it does 90%. So I have 90% chance to ignite, which is pretty good. So that just pretty much helps blow up packs. The belt is kind of sus. Actually, it is sus, not kind of sus. This will probably be recrafted as a Hunter Stygian Vice with avoid shock using essence crafting, and then pretty much just keep on rolling until I hit percent life and then T1 life, essentially. And then inside the Abyss socket, you would put a jewel that has like also 40% or higher avoid shock. And then that would allow me to socket in a Storm Shroud jewel, which would make me Ellie Ailment immune, which is good because I am not shock immune, I am not chill immune. And then other elemental ailments are brittle, scorch, and sapped. So those are modifiers that you would generally see in Delirium content, not so much in normal mapping. But if I do choose to do simulacrums, that would be important to have. And yeah. Other than that, there's not that much else to talk about the build. I'm gonna run a map. Yeah, that's decent. And then I run Scarabs, random ass Scarabs, take Ambush, take Eat of Wolves. I run random Scarabs because of throwing Hordes, so that's 15% pack size. My Atlas strategy, if anyone wants to know, it's Strongbox and Rituals. Rituals has been printing me currency, well, not printing currency, but ever since I swapped to Ritual, I've actually started seeing Divines, which is good. And then I also found a 15% aura effect synth base helmet that I sold for 12 Divines, which pretty much helped me buy the Forbidden Flesh and Flame jewel set for my build. So that's cool. So let me just run a build and show you how tanky it is. 100k, right? And then let me just see if I can just standing content. What I'm looking for is like an Ice Nova box, right? See, that Ice Nova did like negative damage. Well, it did damage, but it's a lot less damage than what a lot of other builds would take, right? If you stand next to a box on most other builds, it will one-shot your build.
Wow,
like,
wow.
guaranteed. Let's start this. Is the ritual even started? No, it's not. Wait, what is this ritual? Doesn't even say.
Go to Hinekora.
Yeah, so damage perspective wise, if there is no enemies, I do no damage, which is funny. But if there is enemies, pretty much just one of them needs to die, and then the entire pack explodes because of how the build works. Because everything is based on ignite explosions. See,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, build is very comfortable. Ever since
wow.
I bought the... What the hell? And there's no enemies next to this mob, dude. Die already. Ever since I bought the Forbidden Flame Flesh Jewel, I haven't really died. I say I haven't really died, but in reality, I didn't die at all. But I don't want to jinx it. So, there's that.
Oh, wow.
Because there is...
Oh, wow.
I can think of like a few scenarios where I would instantly die. But it's... Most of the time you don't really care what mods are. But in this one it's like, I'm reading between the two rewards. Because rarity helps with loot goblins. Like if you do hit a mob with loot goblin, you need the rarity to essentially convert it to rewards. Because it still follows that rule for whatever reason, even though it's not God Touch bound anymore. And then this one is basic currency. I'll take this. Because there's a couple of good
Oh, wow.
currency cards that got added. Which, I shouldn't say a couple, it's mostly just fortunate. Which is that set of 12 for 2 divines. It's a pretty good set. You won't normally find it
That's good.
in
Oh,
style
wow. Oh,
That's
wow.
good,
set,
right?
in what was it?
Oh,
Sunny
wow.
maps or something. So like beaches, anything that has sun, like sunlight, like go touch grass, essentially maps. Yeah, those are the maps that you will find fortunate. So essentially, GGE is telling us to go touch grass in game, which is depressing.
Oh, wow.
Most of us probably haven't even seen grass. See, this is
Oh,
extra
wow.
damage. Yeah. Let me just try to slap on as many extra damage modifiers as possible. Let's see, my HP is like doesn't really, which is good. I don't want it to.
That's good,
Wow.
right?
So big.
See, this is what I was talking about, the stupid loot goblin, right? If I did take that 50% rarity ulti, this reward would be a lot better. But I didn't, so it's whatever. Like, it's still good, right? Gilded Divination is what, 12 chaos, I think. But yeah, that
Oh, wow.
the RNG. But essentially, that's what I mean by loot goblins and rarity. How it's still important to skill rarity. It's just I didn't think I would hit a loot goblin because you'll find a loot goblin like every map essentially nowadays. If you have enough mobs in the map, whether that loot goblin may be like fractured items, gilded items, or even just like small bubblegum currency explosions, right? I consider those still loot goblins because it's
Oh,
so flush
wow.
and
Oh,
straight.
wow.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the map. I don't know where the rest of the monsters are. Yeah, I don't feel like looking for them. Ritual rewards are garbage. Yeah, garbage. Gilded Ambush is good. Gilded Legion, show whatever. Yeah, that's garbage. Oh, look! See? Video proof. Ritual gives you divines. This isn't even a deferred divine. This is just rerolled into a divine. This is proof that Ritual gives me divines. And now it's on video. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I just defer these. Nice. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. My next update will be whenever I farm enough currency or have time to upgrade my remaining rares, which is my scepter and 2 rings, the belt, and the gloves. Essentially, the uniques or the amulet is going to change. It's just I need to decide what I want to change it to. But these 4 uniques, the Formless Flame, Lightning Coil, Legacy of Fury, and Dawnbreaker, is set in stone. There is no better upgrade to these. Okay, Formless Flame, there is technically an upgrade to it, but for now, this is best in slot. Until I start double corrupting Formless Flames for better stuff. But essentially, it will still be a Formless Flame. It's just there are better Formless Flames than this. AKA double corrupted and probably lab enchanted for RF AoE or something like that. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe and see you next time.